Hi, my name is Clarity, and I'm an LSA here at the Downtown Main Library. I'm also a queer activist and poet, and I run a series called the Queer Poetry Spotlight Series that highlights local, national, and historical queer poetry. In this week's installment, we're going to explore the work of two prominent lesbian feminist poets in history, Audre Lorde and Adrienne Rich. Now, these poets were writers, feminists, activists, teachers, essayists, librarians, and they both helped significantly shape the work around social justice and the conversations around equality since the 1960s. A self-described Black lesbian mother, warrior, and poet, Audre Lorde is perhaps the most famous Black feminist poet and civil rights activist in modern history. Born in 1934 in New York City, she studied at Columbia University and was a librarian in New York public schools in the 1960s. She also had two children with her husband, Edward Rollins, coincidentally a white gay man, before they divorced in 1970. In 1972, Lorde met her longtime partner, Frances Clayton, and the two remained together until Lorde's death in 1992. As a teacher and scholar, her time in academia and teaching informed her work and contributions to feminist theory, critical race studies, and queer theory as they intertwine her personal experiences with bigger political ideas. From the Poetry Foundation, Lorde articulated early on the intersections of race, class, and gender in canonical essays such as "The Master's Tools Will Not Dismantle the Master's House." A passionate activist, an equally passionate gay woman, and a pioneer of intersectionality, her work is foundational in social justice circles, and her poetry is praised for its depictions of both the Black and queer experience of sexuality. Today, I'll be reading a poem that explores just that, called "Who Said It Was Simple?" See the library's materials on Audre Lorde linked below. Who said it was simple? There are so many roots to the tree of anger that sometimes the branches shatter before they bear. Sitting in netics, the women rally before they march, discussing the problematic girls they hire to make them free. An almost white counterman passes, awaiting brother to serve them first, and the ladies neither notice nor reject the slighter pleasures of their slavery. But I, who am bound by my mirror, as well as my bed, see causes in color as well as sex, and sit here wondering, which me will survive all these liberations. Born in 1929, Adrienne Rich was another notable and formative lesbian feminist poet and essayist of the same time period. She explored similar issues of identity and sexuality as Audre Lorde, as well as anti-war values. She received numerous awards for her work over her lifetime, including the National Book Award, the Ruth Lilly Poetry Prize, and a MacArthur Genius Award. She offered powerful critiques on weighty concepts such as the patriarchy, language and its relationship to power, and heteronormativity. In 1976, Rich began a relationship with novelist Michelle Cliff, which lasted until her death. In her controversial work of Woman Born, Motherhood as Experience and Institution, published that same year, she stated that her lesbianism was both a political and personal choice. She released the pamphlet 21 Love Poems in 1977, which was later incorporated into the following year's Dream of a Common Language in 1978, and presented lesbian themes and perspectives in her writing in an extraordinary way for the time. In my opinion, I think she's also helped to popularize direct short-form poetry or pocket poetry into mainstream poetry readership. Today, I'll be reading Love Poem number 2 from 21 Love Poems. See the library's materials on Adrienne Rich linked below. Love Poem number 2 from 21 Love Poems. I wake up in your bed. I know I have been dreaming. Much earlier, the alarm broke us from each other. You've been at your desk for hours. I know what I dreamed. Our friend the poet comes into my room, where I've been writing for days. Drafts, carbons, poems are scattered everywhere, and I want to show her one poem which is the poem of my life. But I hesitate and wake. You've kissed my hair to wake me. I dreamed you were a poem, I say, a poem I wanted to show someone. And I laugh and fall dreaming again of the desire to show you to everyone I love, to move openly together in the pull of gravity, which is not simple, which carries the feathered grass a long way down the upbreathing air. Though these two poems vary in tone and experience, both describe the fear of expressing their lesbian identity openly and the desire to be accepted for who they are by the world. Similarly, despite their unique racial backgrounds and queer perspectives, these two women have been instrumental to the advancement of social justice through their work. Read more about these poets using the Cincinnati Public Library's electronic and print resources. And thanks for watching.